So hello everyone, in this video we're going to implement linked list in Java. So here I have created one file for which is practice.java. So let's create outermost class as the same name as the file that we have created, right? So in order to implement using linked list, we have to create one more class for the creating nodes, right? So static class node, and the data that we are taking is integer type, and we have the next is node. Also we are creating a constructor so that whenever we are calling the object of class node, we don't need to explicitly put the values of data in the data field and next to be null. So we are writing this over here, should be this dot data is equal to data and this dot next is equal to null, right? So we are done with the creating the class for the node, right? Creating nodes. So we'll create another class, static class, let's keep it as linked list, right? So here we can implement all the functions like adding the element at the first, adding the element at the last, like adding the element which is node, right? So we'll start with the public static void add first, and we'll take parameter as integer data, right? So before adding the node and the firstly we need to create a node. For that, let's call the object of node class. Let's keep the name as of object is new node, new and node, right? And the data is parameter. Okay, so here we have created the new node, but before getting further, firstly we need to understand one corner case, which is when there is nothing in our linked list, like our linked list is empty. The first element of our linked list is head, right? So we have the condition if head is equal to null, like there is nothing in linked list, so explicitly the node that we have created is a first node, right? If there is nothing, that whatever that we are creating is the first node. So simply we'll write head is equal to new node, right? And here we're gonna return. Okay, so here I have to declare the node head, right? Static node head, okay, right? And this is the another case where there are some elements in a linked list, so we'll create a link to the head, right? So new node dot next is equal to head, and we'll change the position of head as head is equal to new node. Simple. So here we have added the element, added the node at the first position. Now we'll create another function, public static void add last. We will take the data, right? So here we are also going to implement, and here we are also going to create a new node as new node, right? So before getting further, first we need to understand is before adding the node at the last position, firstly we have to get at the last position. So here we don't expect it to change the position of head, because if we change the position of head, that particular garbage collector is disrupts the position of the head, and our program is like not getting executed properly. So what we're gonna do is we'll create a temporary node, so that what is the aim of the temporary variable is just to traverse at the last position, right? So head it at the first position, and we'll explicitly get at last position. For that our aim is getting completed, right? So we'll create a temporary node temp, and we'll assign value to the head. And what we're gonna do is while temp dot next not equal to null, while temp dot next is not equal to null, what we're gonna do is temp equal to temp dot next. So after executed this while loop, we are finally at the last index of the linked list. So we'll which element at last position? We have temp at the last position, so we'll create a link to the new node from the temp, right? Temp dot next is equal to new node. Simple. Okay, so here we have added the element at last position as well. Now we will write the function for adding or displaying the information in the linked list, right? So right, okay, so here is the same technique that we are applying over here. Is we'll create a temporary node and then we'll shift it towards shift it one by one. But one thing that we need to understand is here we don't wanna write temp.next, because at the we know that at the last position the condition is getting satisfied, which temp.next is null already at the last position. So we have to write as temp not equal to null in order to get the value of last node as well. So here we will write one more sentence is system.out.println, and here we gonna temp.data, and here we'll write like this to understand it on the better way. And here we are incrementing temp equal to temp.next, right? Okay, so here we'll write null, so it is looking better when we run the code, right? Okay, so here we are done with the three functions: adding the node at first, adding the node at last, and we'll display the linked list. So let's write the main function. Okay, so here we'll call the object of linked list, right? So we'll firstly write as list dot add first, which should be 2, right? So firstly we have added the element at the first position, then we'll write list dot add last 3. Okay, so let's display it. How does it wanna works, right? List dot display. So if I run the code, okay, so here we can see that here we have firstly added the 2, then we have a list dot add last, so we have added a 3 and we have null. Okay, so now let's check it as list dot add first and should be 1. Let's run the code. Okay, so here we can see that we got the expected output, which was first he added the element 2, then he added last at 3, and then he added the element at the first, which is 1, and then it is then it printed all the elements that we have, like 1, 2, 3 and null. So this is all about the linked list in the Java. Here we have implemented three functions, like adding the element at the first, adding the node at last, and displaying all the nodes and all the linked list, right? In the next video we're gonna see how we can remove the element from first, how we can remove the element from the last, and we'll see all the concepts that we have in the data structures. Thank you so much.